Hey guys, welcome back. Chris and Randy here with Marksman Shooting Sports and WeBuyGuns.com in Westfield, Indiana. Welcome back to another unboxing video. Got quite a few long guns here to go through today, so if that sounds interesting to you, stick around. That's coming up now.
All right, first up we have one from a customer in New Mexico. Thank you for sending this in to us.
That's where the aliens landed. Look at that large loop. That's a big loop.
It's a big old loop.
Sight is way off. Something's going on there.
It's for shooting around corners, Chris.
Corner shot. That's a little better. Yeah, that's fine. This is a Winchester model 1894-1994. This must be the 100-year Centennial rifle.
44 mag.
44 Remington Magnum, you're right. 94 AE, 94 Action Express. You know what that stands for?
No.
Okay. Cool rifle. Winchester model 1894 has been a staple on the lever gun market for a long time, most commonly found in 30-30. Winchester model 1894s have been around for a very long time. Very popularly found in 30-30, have probably taken more deer on the North American continent than any other rifle. So they have just been really just around forever. Now this is a Centennial 1994 manufacturer to commemorate the 100 years of manufacturing of the Winchester model 1894 chambered in 44 Remington Magnum. Large loop, this is probably a 16-inch, I'm guessing.
Looks like.
Yeah, hopefully it's at least, I'm sure it is. There we go. Yep.
16 and an eighth.
16 and an eighth, just for good measure. It does have a crossbolt safety on it, which is it does have a saddle ring on it as well. Has the carbine barrel band. So cool little rifle. What do you think about the condition of that one?
Other than sight, which does look better than it did.
Yeah,
we can these tweaks.
We can just tweak that over. It's not a big deal.
I would say very good condition, Chris.
Yeah, I would agree, and I would even, with the sight, there's a ding here, safe ding. Yeah, I'd say very good. Do not know what the customer said because they did not include their paperwork, but I'm sure we're fine. I would even take excellent on that. I mean, I would call it very good to resell it, but we kind of get the sight kind of kinked back over a little bit. Other than that little safe ding, it's in great shape. So really cool rifle. Big thank you to our customer in New Mexico. We will move on to the next one. All right, next one comes to us from a customer in Kentucky. Big thank you. There it goes. John, I got your next gun.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
Rattles and everything.
I like the way they rattle.
Well, this one is in fine shape. Okay. What we have here, I do not know, is a Marlin Firearms Company.
Model 43.
Model 43. What can you tell me about that, Randy?
12 gauge pump shotgun, probably nearly 100 years old. I don't know what model. It looks like a Winchester to me, if I didn't know it was a model. So it's not quite a Model 11 knockoff, but they're getting darn close with the corncob forend, and it does appear to take down a little bit of a different manner.
This is one I'd have to look up. I do not know anything about this. Missing most of its finish on the stock.
Yeah.
It's got a nice crack in the wrist.
Both sides.
Lots of sort of very light surface corrosion, some pitting on the barrel. Just in kind of rough shape, but interesting firearm.
There it is.
Yeah, there you go. Interesting action. The guts almost fall out of it when you pull it back.
Yeah, it is very interesting.
Yeah.
It is side eject rather than bottom eject like in Ithaca, but I've never seen the foreplate come down like that. So, yeah, this one we'll have to look up and do a little more research on.
Yeah, so what do you think about the condition of it?
I would say fair condition, Chris.
I would too, and
yeah.
Paperwork. It's cool, it's unique. I have not quite seen anything like this.
Customer did say fair, Chris.
Yeah, so we're good with
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So anyway, interesting shotgun. We'll do some more research on it, but thank you for our customer for sending this in.
Next up, Chris, is one from a customer in South Carolina. Thank you very much for sending this in to us.
This is a Ruger LCRx chambered in .22 LR, which is actually a pretty cool little revolver. So The LCR is the concealed or the shrouded hammer. The LCRx has the exposed hammer on it. They make them, and it's a 3-inch and like a 2 3/4 or 2 1/4 inch barrel.
All right.
2 different barrel lengths. And it sort of has this exterior polymer frame to it. It has the anti-stacking cam system inside the trigger, so they're really easy to stack, to stage, so really nice trigger. Now they've made these in tons of different calibers, 38, 9mm, 327 Federal,
22 mag.
22 mag, 22 LR, which is what this one is, which actually for such a lightweight, sort of small revolver with a 3-inch barrel in 22 LR is actually kind of a cool option for those who like rimfire revolvers. This has an 8-round cylinder. Just a cool little revolver, and you don't typically see them in 22 LR, so typically when we get them in 38 or even 9mm. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, Chris, there's not a little bit of carbon on the top of the forcing cone. I would think it had not even been fired. I would have to say excellent condition.
I totally agree with that, and that is what the customer said. So we are good there, so big thank you for this LCRx N22. All right, next up we have one from a customer in Illinois. Like a TX22.
Yep, TX22.
Okay, up next we have a Taurus TX22. Taurus would come out with the TX22, it's been probably a couple years now. Really cool polymer frame, 22 LR, competes with things like the Ruger SR22 or the Smith & Wesson M&P22 or the SIG 320-22 or the Mosquito or the ATI Grasshopper, Firefly. Which insect did they choose this week?
Firefly.
All right. Cool little pistols. People really like these for their price and for what they are. People have actually really gravitated toward the TX22, and it's a cool firearm for what it is and what it costs. I think I remember this one coming through this. They have a competition model, and this is the competition. Yeah. So the competition model has the sort of open top slide with a rail for an optic. Threaded as well, and that is what comes on their competition model. So he had purchased this separately to go along with it to switch between either the competition model variant or the standard configuration variant. A little optic as well as some magazines. So a cool little package ready to go to the range. So what do you think about the condition of all of that?
Just a few handling marks you can tell from just where the casings have hit when it was fired. It's going to happen when you shoot. Other than that, Chris, I don't see any marks. But because of that, and I can see it at arm's length away, I would take it down from excellent to very good. Yeah, and again, we know the fact that these are used, they've been fired, and sometimes with firearms, you're going to get little abrasions because of ejection of the shell casing. It's unavoidable in a used gun. So, I mean, as a used gun, you know, I would go very good plus to the bottom end of excellent, give a little bit of leeway there. I believe the customer said excellent. Yeah, customer said excellent, which is totally fine. I mean, I can see that.
We can see that. It's not a big deal. That's, you know, again, unavoidable. It's not like, you know, somebody's wedding ring put a 3-inch scratch in the slide or anything like that. So anyway, very cool with all the sort of extra goodies. This thing's ready to go. So thank you again to our customer in Illinois. Let's move on to the next one.
Next up, Chris, we have one from South Carolina. Thank you for the customer sending this in to us.
No, what have we done?
PT-22. Taurus's answer to the
Tomcat,
Bobcat.
So Beretta would come out with a line of tilting barrel pistols known as the Tomcat, which was in 22 and 25 automatic, and the Bobcat, which was in 32 automatic. They didn't make one in a 380, did they? No, I think it was just 22, 25, and 32. The philosophy here is you have a top break barrel, obviously. And what you do is you load your ammunition, you put a single round into the barrel and close it, and then you're ready to fire. You do not need to rack the slide, although you can. So the advantage here is for people who lack sort of dexterity in their hands, weakened hand strength, if not arthritis, things like that. So a nice, small, concealable pistol that can be used in a semi-automatic configuration with interchangeable magazines where you don't have to worry about racking slides like you would otherwise, which you could get the advantage out of on something like a revolver. So sort of a nice in the middle intermediary there. For that reason, it's been very popular. I don't remember when the Tomcats and Bobcats first hit the market. Was it as late as back? It's like the 50s?
I think so.
Yeah, they've been around for a long time, so I'd have to double check on when they first hit the market. Now, Taurus has always sort of modeled a lot of their firearms off of Beretta. The PT-22, for example, was built off of Beretta tooling that Taurus had procured. So it is not uncommon for Taurus to make sort of copies of Beretta designs, and that's what the Taurus, what do they call it? PT-22. But it is a double action only with a bobbed hammer here in the back, manual safety, single stack, chambered in 22 LR. Cool little pistol. What do you think about the condition of that one?
Honestly, I don't see a mark on it, Chris. I would say excellent condition.
I would agree with that. Yeah, it looks really good to me. I don't see anything wrong with it at all. I would say excellent condition as well. And customer said very good. So obviously we're fine with that. So very good. Thank you so much for sending this one in to us. Let's move on to the next one. All right, up next we have one from a customer in Idaho. Big thank you for sending this one in. Okay, Walther, probably PT-22. Yep, P-22. Yep. I'm thinking PTs now because of that Taurus. Walther P-22 is actually a really good 22 LR pistol. So Ruger would copy it with the SR-22, which is also a very good pistol. Yep. These are fine, and they will eat just about anything you put through them that's at least high velocity. P-22's been on the market for more than 10 years. It's a good handgun. I don't really know what else really to say about it. Paddle magazine release, single stack magazines, which I believe hold 10 rounds.
Yes.
Manual safety, front side serrations, and carries a lot of the same lines and aesthetics as their other firearms like the PPQ, the P99, the CCP, and things like that. So a lot of their products look similar, just shrunken down into a very small pistol for training and recreational target use purposes. But anyway, that's a cool pistol. What do you think about that one?
One little mark, but out here I can't see it. It's right on the 2 of the 22. I would have to go excellent condition, Chris.
I totally agree. There's not even a lot of signs of use on the barrel itself, so I don't think it's had very many rounds through it. The customer did say excellent, so we're good there. Again, big thank you to our customer in Idaho. Let's move on to the next one.
Okay, next up, Chris, we have one from a customer in Ohio. Thank you very much for sending this in to us.
What are we rocking here? Savage 93R17. What do you know about it, Randy? Savage 93R17? Prisoner 93R17, step forward.
Step forward. Assume the position. Okay, we digress. I don't know a ton about this. I have a very similar rifle that came out with heavy barrel stainless steel laminate stock. 17 HMR, smoking hot round. It's essentially a 22 Magnum neck down to the 17 caliber bullet, and it comes out at about 2,300 feet per second. It's smoking. Very good as a light varmint round. You can't use it for squirrel hunting and such, but needs to be a very well placed shot, or you'll ruin all the good meat, Chris.
All right.
That's about all I have to say about that.
All right. Well, cool. What do you think about the condition?
Has some safe marks, probably a few handling marks from being out chasing down the squirrels, Chris. I would say the high end of good to the low end of very good.
Yeah, I'd say very good. It's got a couple dings right here from just being, I don't know, bumped into in the safe, it looks like.
Yeah.
There are a couple little marks there, but other than that, it looks pristine. So yeah, I would say very good. Customer said very good. So we're good. Oop. So big thank you to our customer in Ohio. Let's move on to the next one. All right, next up we have one from the same customer in Ohio. Big thank you.
Nice bubble wrap. That sure is a pretty gun, Chris.
Sure is a beaut, Clark. Okay. Is that also a Savage? Yeah, Savage. Savage B-Mag and 17 Winchester Super Magnum.
WSM. That's another pretty hot round.
Yeah, she's in there good.
That's one that actually Winchester developed, I believe, by necking down a nail gun cartridge.
Oh, I heard about those.
Yeah. Just another variant of your very small diameter, high-powered rounds that kind of gained popularity and just kind of fell flat. I mean, they're still popular, but they're not all the rage anymore. Nice configuration here with the laminated free-floated thumb hole stock, bipod. Yeah, nice little rifle.
Cool. What do you think about the condition?
It's got some short stroke marks on from the bolt on the stock, a few handling marks, a few marks on the bluing. I would say very good, Chris.
I agree, and that is what the customer said. So yeah, another cool rifle. Let's move on to the next one.
All right, Chris, next up is one from a customer in Pennsylvania. Thank you very much for sending this in to us. It's like a Jimmy.
Yep, it's like a Jimmy. Henry. What do we got there? It's a side gate gun.
Well, we have a Henry HO12G. It does have the King's patent loading gate. One thing different from Henry on these, that now they finally started putting those on. They've left the magazine tube, which is really handy. If you load it up, you go out to hunt, you come back, rather than having to rack all the rounds out onto the ground, pick them up, you can just pop the magazine tube, dump them out, and clear the weapon. So
I remember when the side gate option came out for these, they were all the rage. People really like that. I mean, if you're used to Winchesters and things like that, you like to load from the side gate here on the side of the gun, rather than holding the gun up on end, pulling the tube out. The tube could fall out, you could lose it, you could bend it. It was always just kind of a process. And one of the reasons I always kind of shied away from Henry rifles in general, but with the addition of the King's patent side load gate, it's a really cool option for loading the rifle. And like Randy said, dump your rounds out the front. It's actually kind of cool to have both options available.
yeah.
So it's a cool rifle, and if I got a Henry, I would only get one with the side gate on it. But what do you think about the condition of that one?
This one is, by the way, Chris, in 44 Remington Magnum and 44 Special. Darn, it looks like a new rifle, Chris. I would have to say excellent condition.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think he said that he bought it and didn't use it much or didn't use it at all. Yeah, I remember this one.
Yep.
Very cool. Let's move on to the last one.
All right, for our last box up today, Chris, it's also from the same customer in Pennsylvania. Thank you for saying that to us.
Andrea!
Here's your paperwork, sir.
Oh, what you got there?
What we got here is the Henry X rifle. This thing came out as all the rage SHOT Show, 4 or 5 years ago? And it was the first Henry to have the King's patent loading gate on it. So that was very innovative, and that's when Tactical was in its very beginning for the lever action guns. Even today you can take just a normal lever of just about any kind. There's companies you can send them off to and spend thousands of dollars on them, getting them completely tuned out. But this one came with the polymer furniture, the very nice fiber optic sights, a rail system on the front, sling swivel, holes already installed, a generous loop on here, and this one is in 30-30.
A generous loop, I like that.
Generous loop.
Very generous.
It's not the SBL loop, super or stainless big loop, but it is generous.
The gentleman's loop.
The gentleman's loop.
Yes. Well, very cool. Well, I think you about covered it. What do you think about the condition of that one? Is that a 44 or 45?
It is a 30-30.
Ah! A 30-30.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Definitely a gentleman's rifle.
The reason why you've never seen Sasquatch in North America, Chris.
30-30. All right.
I would say it's in excellent condition, Chris.
I agree. Definitely looks, I don't know if it's even been fired. I mean, there's not even brass marks in the loading gate, so it's not been even loaded. Very nice looking rifle. Big thank you to our customer in
Pennsylvania.
West Virginia. Is it Pennsylvania? Okay. Big thank you to our customer in Pennsylvania for sending these to us, and that wraps up this video, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching this video with us. If you enjoyed this video, please let us know by hitting that like button. If you have any questions, leave those out in the comment section down below. And if you want to see more content like this, go ahead and subscribe to our channel and turn on that bell notification button. We're going to wrap things up with those and leave you off there. I am Chris.
And I'm Randy.
And we will see you next time. We need like a badass like guitar riff.
I don't. You know, 1894 Winchester. Do you know why you've never seen Bigfoot in North America, Chris? 1894 Winchester. I drank about 14 Dr. Peppers. One because I was thirsty, and two because they was free. All right, the last one up today is from the same customer in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania? Well,
Hell, y'all.
I'll come on up through Pennsylvania. Down at the country fair, there's
from West Virginia.
West Virginia.
John Denver.
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan.
John Denver.
Bob Dylan wrote everything.
He was a grown man. He got high. He crashed a plane. He died.
He's got a beard.
He built the plane. Wasn't it one of those kit planes he built? He was, like,
No, he was high though. He smoked the devil's lettuce, John.
I'm
Okay.
Everybody gets that.
Can we get back to it? Yeah. Hey, Chris.
West Virginia.
Mountain Mama.
Take me home, country road.
That's got a stain there. It's pretty good.
Smoking devil's
Yeah,
lettuce.
we had sustain.
We did have sustain.
Yep.
I haven't sustained anything in my entire life, John.
I get my
No, I'm
ankle
just kidding.
bracelet off next year.